I thought I'd read a short piece, this is not my own, but with an interview with Walter McDonald, a poet and writer, and a number of years ago interviewed in Christianity and Literature magazine, when the question of the relationship between autobiography and poetry, since I've already mentioned boys and Maine and things that are dear to my heart, and people that are, what is that connection? He says something that for me maybe captures it well. He first reminds us of Emily Dickinson's famous line, "Tell the truth, but tell it slant." And he says, "I like what the dictionary calls a poem, a made thing. Think of that, a made-up thing." And then he continues a little bit later, "Poetry is not autobiography, but art. Not merely facts of actual lives, but invention. Not confession, but creation. Creative writing means discovery of poems we wouldn't have found if we hadn't begun to write." That speaks to me in important ways as I write, because of course these have a home in my experience, but as I write I rethink and I see those experiences, those thoughts differently. This next poem is read with a nod towards Robert Frost at the beginning and William Wordsworth at the end. Two very different writers in some respects, but maybe in that general category of romantics they have some common ground. The title, Frostian as it is The Road More Traveled. Campwood, baked goods, kerosene lemonade, eggs and pickles, you-picked berries, homegrown sweet corn, first cutting hay. East from Vale's Mills to the Vermont border, old Route 29 winds and climbs through yard sales, barn sales, garage and lawn sales. Truck parts, pool supplies, handmade quilts, jellies, jams, ducks, rabbits and kittens. Getting and spending America for sale. Those of you that might have either taken my Global Lit class or been in it recently will recognize a play on one of Wordsworth's lines there. I like to look around as I go about, whether I'm traveling or just in my own backyard. And in fact, one of the things that I've encouraged some of you as we've talked about creative writing is to really have your eyes and your ears open, to touch those things that are around you, not just know that they're there and sort of assume that you know them, even the most familiar things. Well, I recall, I think it was a couple of years ago, the first time that I passed this sign, and subsequent to that, it's always sort of caught my attention, sort of standing out amongst all these other, or these trees that really don't draw any attention, but this one tree. It's called Swamp Sign. And swamp may seem like a strange thing to find in Maine, but I promise you, it is a swamp. Not Maine, sorry, that location that I'm thinking. Flying north on Highway 79, deer flies chasing and crickets singing, past grassy Ballfield Road, but just shy of Jordan's garage. On the left, 75 feet from the lane, I see the cockeyed sign as if sprouted from the swampy, gooey ooze. Tacked to one of the pine poles left for dead. It reads, "No swimmin'," as if to warn of dangers below.